Let's focus on the first topic of the day. The recession is now a tangible concern. Shrinking consumer confidence, reduced demands, traditional sales tactics that no longer work, hiring freeze, the pressure is on. But it also presents an opportunity for us to drive growth amidst uncertainty. And here are some thoughts that we need to now sort of circulate around, which is about how we rethink resource optimization. What are new sales strategies perhaps that we need to think about also against reduced demands and the whole ever-present employee productivity and the results that we want to see. So the first question I want to direct is to Derek. With an economic slowdown on the premises of all this, I think, again, focus on opportunities. What are the key initiatives you are working on to optimize cost and improve shareholder value?
All right, so thanks, Narita. Good afternoon, everyone. I think the age-old question that a lot of business will face is that it's either short-term gains or long-term growth, where if short-term gains are not forthcoming, it's best to invest in longer-term growth. So I think we are fortunate that we are in a region where we are at the forefront of the next wave of growth. All the stats may not be surprising to you, but 3 out of 5 economies come 2030, the biggest in the world, will come from Asia, mainly driven by Indonesia, China, India. Even for India, we just got over 8% economic growth. And for linking, we are also in a good position whereby come 2030, once again, almost half of the tertiary graduates from the age of 25 to 34 will be from this part of the world. So that gives us a very good opportunity to really invest in the region, making sure that we can capture the growth. And we have started to do that by understanding how much of a role we can play, especially from a workplace, to help to capture the growth, to help to reach out to the customers, to help to reach out to build the user base. So a lot of initiatives are primed for the future, but it's more customer-centric, if I could use that term, vis-a-vis employee-centric, which we have been doing that for a long time, but now the demand is for the space to be more multi-purpose, more fit for purpose, based on the growth that we want to acquire.
So I think what I'm hearing is that, yes, we're going to manage costs, but then again, reinvest on where the opportunities lies and not just remain stagnant is the gist that we're getting there. That's really interesting. And over to you, Ed. So obviously, to avoid stagnation, and that's the engine of just keep moving forward, how can companies leverage technology to reposition themselves for growth during this climate?
Well, good afternoon. So I've spent most of my life in tech, and recessions are really good times for people to recognize the value of technology. It forces people to see technology for what it really should be, and that is a facilitator for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Now, when we're talking about work, you know, the key amongst CEOs that I spend my time with is communication and communicating with your employees, communicating with your customers. And where I see a lot of people investing now is how do we take advantage of the new communication techniques that are coming about, new technologies that are coming out, to make sure that our teams are cooperating, collaborating, addressing the needs of our customers, being able to communicate with our customers, rapidly, quickly, not leaving them behind. So I think that rather than recession being a time when people kind of go, I'll run away from tech, it's going to cost money, I think this is when they invest in it, but very strategically with specific business goals in mind. And communication for me is one that's at the highest of that list so that they can grow their businesses more effectively and keep their customers happy.
Thank you, Ed. I wanted to share another perspective that Ian shared with us when we regrouped with him last week to practice, and I thought it was very insightful. He said technology is just a tool, just like everything else. If we want to maintain competitive edge, one of the things Ian shared was that Start by looking for problems. And how do you find problems? Look for your customers and understand where their pain is. When you understand what the customer pain is, what is shifting for them, that's when you kind of laser focused on what their needs and demands are and what you can do as a division. So that's really step one. Step two then is obviously linking the gaps between division to division to synchronize how we're going to shift and adapt as an organization. And then only step three saying, so what technologies can we then use to plug in the gaps? And I found this just mind-blowing because, you know, very often we sort of say, oh, let's do this, let's do that. But the point is, if you don't know what the problem is, then this is not the time to be doing things for the sake of doing them, but it needs to solve problems so that we can move forward faster.